She walks in loud like a thunderstorm, debunking myths with style and form. True crime, conspiracies her game. Melissa Jade, remember her name. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Microphone fierce like a roaring lion, unveiling secrets people been hiding. True crime queen of the digital scene, Melissa's got you hooked on her screen. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame. Murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame. Melissa J, she's got no shame. Melissa J, she's got no shame. From murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame. 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 She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame.
Hello, everybody. Maniac says, I didn't even know this was live. I just kind of landed here. Perfect. Are you the maniac that is an inmate with Wade Wilson? I'm not really sure he's saying thank you to, but you're welcome on behalf of whoever you're thanking. Hello, everybody. I know we're going on for a late one tonight. I literally just walked in the door, though, and here I am. Severe star. Oh, I hope everything's okay, Daryl. Yes, please. I need a canoe. Yeah, it's Tecia time. Yes, the aliens. I've marked safe from the aliens. How bizarre. Yeah, I got some messages about that. How peculiar. I think, listen, there's a first time for everything. Hey, my fellow Melissa. There's a first time for everything, and I will say, if I gotta go out anyway, I think taken out by extraterrestrials may be my top priority. That would definitely be high up there on ways to go. So no complaints from me. Okay, so I am so exhausted. I'm so exhausted, but we're going to push through this and we're going to do this because I know, and I'm just double checking to make sure that there isn't another, because I know we start the 17th today, but I only see one, and it's very short, and I want to make sure I have the right one. But before we do, we're going to pull up our missing child. Thanks, Jenny. Okay. Hi, Texas girl. So here is our missing child for tonight's live stream, which please be vigilant. This is someone, a friend of someone from the community. So here is Eliana Jones. Eliana has been missing since April 22nd, 2025 out of Columbus, Ohio. She is 15 years old. We don't have any additional information, but if you or anyone you know has information on Eliana's whereabouts, please. And it's very good that she has a lot of distinct features here. She has the glasses, she has the curls, she has the septum piercing, the nose piercing, and those braces with the bright pink. All good things to make her noticeable. Please contact the Franklin County Sheriff's Office at 1614-525-3333. So I was told, yeah. So I was told. Can't hide it anymore. I've been waiting for the mothership to come for decades. Yeah, I guess it's not something I can hide anymore. Hi, Debly. Hi, Midnight Lace. Yeah, definitely, Kimmy C. Thank you. Okay, so let me see. 16th, 13th, 19th. Okay, I think this must be it. Okay, so. Oh, no. Wait. Huh. I'm confused about that. Where's the 17th? No, this is the 19th. Okay. So I guess this really is just this one. All right. So we have the 17th, okay? We have this pretext call. Now, if you guys remember where we last left off. Oh, for sure there is, Daryl. I'm positive. I can reassure you. Hi, MK. MK, did you hear I had a death threat? Death by extraterrestrial. I don't like the team Jamie. That's just me. All right, so here we go. Let me pull it up. Hi, Gidget. Okay. Here we go. Are you guys ready? Are you in Believe Tecia mode? We last left off where Albert spoke directly to Nicole. Nicole, who, as Tecia would describe her, is an investigative reporter, which she is, but she's an investigative reporter for Fox News, not Jose Baez, and not working for Tecia. And so Al got to speak to her directly. We found out that someone was spoofing Nicole's number while calling Al, Tecia. And when he called her back, he was like, listen, I'm absolutely exhausted. She's like, you believe me now, huh? He's like, I'm exhausted. We could talk about this tomorrow. And she's like, well, are you going to let me come home? And are we going to be husband and wife? And Al's like, I'm spent. We'll talk tomorrow. So that's where we last left off. So this one isn't too long tonight, which honestly, that works out a lot. But with commentary and stuff, it stretches out. Dude, those are so funny. But obviously, the best one is going to always be the first one with Ryan Gosling because it's the first time, and it was so awkward and so cringe, but so glorious at the same time. Yeah. Well, I didn't pay for the email for you, so I don't know if that counts for anything. Those emails I didn't pay for. But okay, here we guys go. Perfect. You could tell I'm tired, but here we guys go. Let's do it.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Will, are you Letecia?
Yes.
Will a lie detector test work for you?
Yes.
All right. So I need help.
Hold on. We're starting out strong. Oh, I wish Natasha was here. We're starting out strong, guys. Hey, what up? Nothing. What are you doing? Are you alone? Yeah, I'm alone. So, will a lie detector test work for you? And of course, of course, Al says, all right, if I disappear for a second, guys, I'll be right back. Man, this shit sucks. All right, let's try that again. So she's like, oh, is a lie detector test going to work for you? Would that work for you? And Al, of course, Wolfie, there's issues all the time with these browsers. Like, this is every night. It was not the extraterrestrials. I wish it was, honestly. But she's like, oh, will a lie detector test work for you? Will that be sufficient? Will that make you, hi Liz, will that make you feel like you could finally believe me? And Al, of course, is going to say, yeah, because he wants to see that lie detector. Now, anybody who has followed this case, and it's your 80th time going over this case, we already know what happens with that lie detector test. But, here's just, again, one of the many reasons why Letecia Stauch is by far one of the most cruel killers I have ever studied.
Letecia?
Yes.
Will a lie detector test work for you?
Yes.
All right. So I need help paying for it. Obviously, I don't have anything.
No, I can't do that.
I didn't say you had to. I said I need help.
I thought you were talking with the freaking FBI lady.
I do, but you still have to pay. They're pro bono.
Listen, I highly doubt if you're going to give a lie detector test for a potential homicide case, if it's even that, I don't even know. I don't think they're going to have to make you pay a dime.
Will it work for you?
I said yes. I said yes.
Okay, so I'm asking you about the steps to take in doing it. I said I need help with it. Okay, so I'm willing to go do it, like legit tomorrow, whenever. I'm asking, will that work for you? So you can apologize for accusing me of the things that you said and stand by my side. Will that work for you?
Oh my god, sorry. But again, this is like, oh my god, my baby wipe just flew out of my hand because I can't pause fast enough. This is the worst form of gaslighting I've ever experienced. So ready? I asked, yep, you got thigh slaps already, 10 minutes in. I asked, if I do this lie detector for you, okay? If I do this for you, Al, will you then apologize to me? Will you apologize to me for not standing by my side? For not being there for your wife? She knows damn well, right, Danny? She knows damn well. She brutally unalived his son. And not only, we're talking about 18 stab wounds, blunt force trauma, and shot him through the jaw. And I say that not to be insensitive, but to really understand the level of evil we are talking about. Put him in a suitcase, and as his body was decomposing, moved him multiple times until just a little before 2 weeks from this call, 2 weeks prior to this call, chucked that suitcase off an overpass after driving across the country in the moving van with it. Okay? And she is saying to him, after all these stories, if I get this lie detector, are you going to apologize to me for ever accusing me of doing something to Gannon? Tell me you can't. Tell me something more evil. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar and you don't know what the truth is with the lie detector test, without getting into all of it, because I will show you all of the social media posts after we're done with these calls. But Letecia did not go for an FBI polygraph test. No. She didn't trust them. She didn't go for the police, Colorado. No. She didn't trust them. You know what she did? She went to a fake polygraphtest.com. Yes, it's a real site. Yes, it has better customer service than AT&T or Verizon. They have a literal line that if you are cheating on your spouse, right, and you type in the questions, type in the answers, and then they will print it out with a certificate. And then if your spouse or someone tries to call the number, someone will answer and verify it that they're legitimate, okay? But it comes with rules, meaning no acts of violence or things like that. So Tecia still tried, of course, and it would be a huge nail in her metaphorical coffin, okay? So as evil as she is, she's not even talking about a legit polygraph. She's talking about a fake polygraph she was paying to get the answers for. It's insane. Like from Little Nicky Harley. Yeah, for she goes,
tomorrow, whenever. I'm asking, will that work for you?
Yeah.
So you can apologize for accusing me of the things that you said and stand by my side. Will that work for you?
Yes.
Okay, so help me in the process of getting that started.
I did already. I gave you the FBI lady's number. I can't do that.
The FBI is not going to do that. You have to go to a firm, Colorado Springs.
No, Tecia, that's not how it works.
Yes, it is. I've already called the app. I called people. They said people who do lie detector tests have to have 150 polygraph tests already on themselves.
Okay, well maybe
in order for them to be
try El Paso County then. They do it too, I've heard. Okay.
They do it.
That's what I've heard. I know the FBI can do it, but reach out to El Paso County, and I'm sure they'll between either Amber or what was your contact up there at El Paso?
Okay, never mind. I reached out for you to help them.
I am helping you, and I am standing.
Me in directions of police department. Okay, I don't trust the police department to do it. I'm asking you to help with a licensed person who does it in Colorado Springs, and you still try to shoot me in a police department direction.
Hey, Laura.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's all I know. Okay, fine. If that's what you want to do, do that. But I mean, that's all I know to tell you is to go through the authorities. But if you're going to go through somebody else, then do that. I mean, what?
Okay, and I asked you for your help in paying for it.
What? Okay, how much is it going to cost?
You're still my husband. You haven't helped with anything. Nothing. Okay? And you have everything, and I have nothing.
Wow.
So I asked you to help.
I have everything, huh? But yeah, so you find the person you're talking to, send me the name, and
I haven't talked to anyone. I asked would you help?
Find the person that you want to use, okay?
All right.
I'll confirm it, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
All right.
So notice how she said, you have everything and I have nothing. The one thing he wanted was his son. Yes, Little Red, and we had a Patreon winner for who guessed it right. Yep, everything except Gannon. And I'll show you the social media posts of Letecia collecting money and faking being personalities, even down to pretending to be her daughter, her own daughter. She dragged her child into it. It was, oh God, it was bad. Yeah, it's on a whole nother level. Two doubly, maybe three.
Hello?
I didn't get anything but question marks.
Oh, I said, did you want to talk about, like, did you set up an appointment for this? How much is it going to cost?
No, here's my approach. My approach is, if you don't, in my opinion, and this is how I want it to be, so there's no, like, question or anything. If you don't control the aspect of it as far as validity, checking out people, but like, I feel like you will try to take it and say that, oh, it's someone you do, or I want to prove 100% to you because I know you're hurt, I know you're upset, but those things are not true, what you said. They're just not true. And I don't care about a court of law because you know why? My attorney will shred it apart.
My attorney will shut it apart. Thank you, Jack. Jack said, MJ is neglect. I'm so sorry. If you only knew how chaotic every day of my life is currently, I promise I'm not intentionally neglecting my bagel responsibilities. But he says, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for my bagel neglect. I'm so sorry. And thank you, Lisa, so much. You guys are the best. Thank you. Congratulations to whoever got those memberships. For all those that did not get a bagel, which I'm so sorry about. I am so sorry. Yeah, Pan Am, yeah. Homer. There you go. There you go. She's just a bagel. A bagel. A bagel. Nope, I can't even pretend to do it. Oh, I think my thing is on repeat. Yep, it is. Get off the screen. Okay. So my attorney, Jose Baez. No, I know you didn't, Jack, but I still feel bad. I feel bad for anyone who hasn't had a New York bagel, man. Hell yeah. I would suggest an egg everything bagel, though. It elevates it. No. Lisa, don't even try. New Jersey ain't got nothing on New York bagels. When MJ's free, can I ask what brand her cigarette alternative? You mean my vape? I use a Vaporesso, like my vape. I've never heard it called a cigarette alternative. Thank you, Paid Dog Mom, for 20 months. Hi, Melissa in chat. Hello. Hi, Miss Millie.
I'm worried about my husband knowing that I did not do such a thing.
All right, well.
Because I care about you, and I feel like if you know that that's the truth, that I did not, then everything could be okay.
Yeah,
I mean, right? I mean, you know for 100% that I did not hurt our child, kill our child, kill with 2x4s, whatever you may say. Would it not make you feel a lot different right now?
Yeah, I told you I'd stand by you with the truth,
Okay.
And I pulled up that link, and they got 5 stars, so that it looks legit on the surface. And yeah, I mean, you hit a great point there about I am about validating things and looking into things. Part of that process would be getting some questions answered that I want answered, right? I think you can assume that, right?
Okay.
All right. So that being said, as I was waiting on you to get back, I wrote down basically 3 or 4 questions, and I want to pose them to you now, so that way I'm not surprised when I go in there. Okay? Are you willing to do that with me?
Happy early birthday, Lady F&T. Hey, bitches. On Friday, I will officially be a senior citizen and the hottest one there is. And thank you, Andrea, for 5 months. Tisha Lean is going to have Jose Baez come after you. Dude, we're going to hear from Jose. Daryl. We're going to hear from Jose himself. Hi, Chelsea. And it has to be bad if Jose Baez is like, nah, I want no part of that. Of course, Katie. Yep.
And then we'll. Like,
you said you're not surprised, or
well, neither one of us. So you know the questions, and I know the questions.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll ask him, and you just give me yes or it's just simple yes or no questions, okay? And then so you're not once again trying to be fair to you and fair to myself. That these are some of the questions that I want to answer. Number one, do you know where Gannon is?
Okay.
Yes or no?
No. Yeah, I mean, but this is the questions I'm going to prove to you too, right?
Yeah.
You understand?
Right. You can answer them now, but then you can answer them then as well. Okay.
Okay, I do you then. No.
Okay. Who was Gannon last with?
They don't ask you questions like that.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It's yes or no. Do you know who Gannon was with last?
Okay, so here's what I want you to be careful with on do you know who Gannon was with last? Because let me explain to you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You a more specific approach in that, because you need to say, do you know a description or have a picture in your mind of who Gannon was with last?
Okay.
No, that's
Okay. Well, that leads into.
I want you.
Listen to her. So they're supposed to be planning out the questions that she would be submitting to the polygraph test. And she is correct. You have to ask yes or no questions. But he just did ask a very specific question. Do you know who Gannon was with last? And she's like, no. You have to be a little bit more specific, aka less specific. And you have to say, like, do you have an idea, a general image of what this hypothetical person looks like? So I could say yes.
To ask the question of someone else.
Right.
I mean,
All right.
you have to ask that.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not going to probably be the one phrasing the questions. I'm just telling you questions that I want answered. So you answered the question. Were you the last person Gannon was with? And you said no. Okay. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go take that down a rabbit trail. Okay. Did you accidentally hurt Gannon?
No.
Did you murder Gannon?
No.
Okay. Well, so, I mean, that's kind of just some of the questions I'm going to want answered. So when are you going to be able to do this? I want to get this done as soon as possible. I'm ready to do it tomorrow. I think because of the publicity of this case, they'll squeeze you in and make an appointment for you tomorrow. If we go up there and, call them and say, hey, listen, this is the Gannon Stauch case. We need a polygraph ASAP. Let's do it. I don't know. When's the earliest you could do it? I'll just take money out of the bank account and I'll pay for it.
So can you get me just like 2 or 3 times or days and times that they have available? Send them to me and I'll get you exactly which one would work best.
Nope. Tecia, this is.
What are you talking about? I don't have a way around. Okay. I'm having to help people out so that I can have food and a place to stay.
Okay.
No.
In college, but
it's the importance of it, and I the one said to do this.
But I'll even come and get you tomorrow morning. I want to do it like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll come and get you at Michelle's house. Okay.
Oh, who's Michelle? Let me remind you. Let me just take a little sidebar moment and remind you that Tecia last told him that she was staying at her friend's Michelle's house out in Colorado. She is not. She is across the country in Myrtle Beach. And Mallory, and I had just explained it before you came in. So Mallory asked, so the lie detector test never happened, right? Let me think about this for a second. How would I say?
No.
Yes.
No, sir. I mean, John, no.
So an actual lie detector test never occurred, but she did try to purchase a fake polygraphtest.com. We will listen to those literal calls that were recorded. It's the most cringiest, awkward, uncomfortable 2 calls you will probably ever listen to. And we have the questions she submitted with the answer she submitted to try to pay to get an actual fake polygraph results to give to Al. But when we get to the social media posts, she immediately went on social media and claimed that she did a polygraph and she passed. Yeah, just buckle up, because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot that we're going to go through.
And I'll bring you to this place. It's Michelle, right?
I'm not at Michelle's house.
Okay, where are you at now?
I'm staying with random people that reached out online, people that are following the case.
Okay, well, send me your location through your phone, or send me an address or a 10-digit grid coordinate from Google Earth.
You told me got a time, and you're telling me you're going to pick me up?
Yeah, because I guarantee you they will squeeze you in tomorrow, because this will be another star in their cap, or feather in their cap.
Right, because it's about some publicity for you.
No, not for me. I want the truth. And you know what? Every minute, every second we sit here and talk about this is another minute that Gannon is danger.
I called you and told you I would do this and gave you the person.
All right, well, tomorrow's the day. Okay, if not, then you're not serious about it. That's just, I am
serious about it. I've already told you yes. I've already said yes.
All right,
yes.
then I'll set the appointment. If it needs to be the afternoon, fine, whatever. But we'll do it, okay? Tomorrow.
I've already, I don't know.
Now, tomorrow's going to be an issue because, again, she isn't at her friend's house in Colorado. Even though she is begging Al to meet up and to let her come home, she is in Myrtle Beach.
All right, then I'll set the appointment. If it needs to be the afternoon, fine, whatever. But we'll do it, okay? Tomorrow.
I've already, I don't know why you keep saying that. You think I'm changing. I've already said yes. I also want to know what I need to be, because I saw where somewhere online it says something about eating and drinking and stuff like that. So.
All right, I'll answer that for you. But, why don't you plan on like a 6-hour window or something, okay? And then
you haven't even talked to him. Just tell me.
I'm just going based off generalizations, Tecia. Come on now. I don't know the answer to that. You can Google it just like I can. I'll call him and I'll find out. And I'm just saying, plan on, if you think you're not supposed to eat for a while, then don't eat for a while. It's not a big deal. But I'll call them and I'll set it up for tomorrow, afternoon, whatever. You just let me know where to come get you, or let me know, just be there if you don't want me to come get you.
She's not in Florida, Cheyenne, now.
Okay, and so now you had your questions that you wanted, and so now I have questions.
So now I'm taking a polygraph?
No, you're not taking a polygraph.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking you 4 questions.
All right, go ahead.
She had family in Myrtle Beach, okay? I believe at this point, the FBI may have become aware of where she was. I'd have to go back to double check which one of these phone calls is when they knew, but it probably was at this point that they knew, but they couldn't let her know that they knew, right? Just continue to build the lies.
And so now I have questions.
So now I'm taking a polygraph?
No, you're not taking a polygraph.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking you 4 questions.
All right, go ahead with them.
When you get the results that say I have passed this polygraph test,
okay,
what is your course of action?
These are yes or no questions, please.
Okay. Is your course of action to be with your wife in marriage and your daughter and the rest of our family back to normal and figuring out who has Gannon?
No.
That's not your approach.
You said once you answer some polygraph questions, once we find Gannon, okay.
That's not what I said.
No.
I said once you find out that
all right, no. I didn't. All right, yes or no questions. I didn't do this to you. I took your yes or no questions.
The question. Once the polygraph test comes back and shows you that I'm telling the truth to the questions, that I had nothing to do with Gannon in any kind of way, being hurt, murdered, taken, whatever, are you going to be with your wife?
Nope.
Really? So why?
Yes or no questions, please.
I'm still going to do it. I just want you to tell me why.
Because the key to standing by you is the truth and Gannon. So
I just told you if I pass the polygraph test, and you know I didn't have anything to do with it.
So again, Tecia has full confidence at this point. Yeah, that's a no for me, Doug. She has full confidence that she's going to pay for this fake polygraph and everything's going to be fine, as if that's going to genuinely work in the long run, right? And thank you so much, Little Red. And thank you, Lisa, for the 573. John Grusing for President 2028, 2029, 2023, for forever. Seriously. And thank you, Honey M, for 18 months. Thanks, Melissa. Tecia calls never get old. They never do. They are fascination, psychological, behavioral, criminology, like everything. It's just super fascinating to me. And I learn something every time I go over it. But she was fully confident. Yep, if I pay for this fake polygraph, that's it. Because again, what I want you guys to observe is she was confident if she could get Al to believe her, the FBI would be off her back. El Paso County off her back. She believed Al had power, being Gannon's biological father. That if he turned around to the FBI and said, I believe my wife, stand down, that they'd be like, all right, right? Which that alone, the way her brain works, is very interesting to me. But that's because she had gotten away with everything. Hi, Miss Smoking Bread. That she had gotten away with everything prior to this. And it always worked once she got Al on her side. That's why you always have to hold someone accountable. Always, always, always. Because they'll keep elevating their behavior every time they get away with it. And thank you so much again, Little Red. That's very kind of you. Welcome to our new members. I think she should already be. Like, if I had the qualifications, and like I was in that field, I would be fascinated to study her brain. Yeah, always, Marie Joey, always. I'm trying to get MS Girl membership. Make sure, MS Girl, you opted in. I think you're opted in, right? You don't have to be fast, MS Girl, at all. It has nothing to do with fast. As long as you're opted in, you're good to get a membership. You don't have to be fast at all.
Polygraph test, and you know I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm trying to understand here. Why would you say no to being with your wife if it's proven on the test that I didn't have anything to do with it? I just want to know the truth on that. I'm still going to do it so it can clear my name. I just want to know the truth from you.
I'm waiting for the next yes or no questions.
Albert, come on, man. Just be real with me. This is not a time to play games.
I'm not, Tecia. You got to understand.
Okay.
There's two. Listen. There's a lot of repair.
Your heart to tell me the truth.
I am. I'm trying to. I'm gonna bend here again. G's the most important thing. But
sorry, I don't mean to pause again. But thank you, Lisa, and thank you, MK. That's very kind of you. Have you never gotten one? If you've been opted in for over a year and never got one, then that doesn't make sense. I would make sure your settings are, have you ever got gifted to another channel? Because once you're opted into one channel, just so you guys know, you're opted in to all channels. And thank you, Justin. Look, they're working hard to try to get you a membership. Thank you so much. But just so you guys know, when you're opted into one channel, you're opted in to all channels. So that's why if you ever get gifted a membership to a channel you've never been to before, or maybe never chatted in, it doesn't matter. Once you're opted in for gifts, you're opted in across the platform to receive gifts. And once a channel, because there are some channels that get gifted an insane amount. And when I say an insane amount, I'm talking about like 500 gifts alive. Once it goes through like the normal chatters and normal subscribers, it will eventually go to, all right, subscribers who don't chat in here, but who frequent other channels similar to that channel. You know what I mean? Oh, so then you are opted in, and thank you again, Little Red. Thank you guys. You guys are so kind. Thank you so much. Thank you, Danny. They're working Hard for you. Just make sure you click on one of their gifts at the top and make sure you're opted in. Thank you, Justin, again. Kayla, when you see them gift, you can click on like the green and there should be like a little gift box that allows you to opt in. But I'll also drop the link. There's 2 different links, one for iPhone and one for Android or PC. And you could click whichever kind of phone you have. So this is here to allow the gifted memberships on a PC or Android. Gift, oh crap, I forget my own links. Harlot and Natasha dropped these links. Gift, opt, join. Is it join for the iPhone? I forgot what my own command is. This one, whatever this one is. And thank you, Daryl. Thank you. You got it? Okay. Wait, did she get it? Who got it? Did she get it? Yep. Well, don't feel bad, little one, because all that really means is that that channel gets gifted a lot. And everyone who goes already got one. That basically is what that means. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, guys. Oh, and thank you, Morgan. You guys are doing the most. Thank you. And welcome. I know you guys are trying to get MS Girl, but thank you either way. And welcome to all of the new members. And I know it's the last day of the month, too. Thank you. Most generous community. She didn't get it. Damn it. See, Morgan said, damn it. But it's just me got it. Marge got it. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. I'm sorry, MS Girl. You're bound to get it.
I'm trying to. I'm going to bend here again. G's the most important thing, but there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of damage, okay, from this situation. And I'm not here to argue with you, okay? But there's a lot of damage from all the lies that have been told that it's going to take some time to work through, okay? I said I'll stand by the truth, and I'll stand by you with the truth. Gannon's the priority. All right, what's your next yes or no question?
Thanks, Lisa. Hi, Leonard. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Princess Gary.
Do you have any intention of being back with your wife and family?
No.
I get that. You guys are the best. Thank you.
And it's the same answer, same response as I gave you last time. Gannon's the priority right now.
You guys are amazing.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I respected you and answered you. No, hold on. I respected you. Give you 4 yes or no questions, and I left it at that. You're not respecting me in that way. So I'm going to go back to question 2. You said you were not the last person Gannon was with, so who was?
Exactly.
Okay.
Simple question, right? It's oh my goodness. Thank you, Lisa. I feel so obnoxious like stopping and thanking every time, but you guys, thank you so much, everyone. You guys are so beyond kind. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Welcome, whoever got it, though. Seriously, welcome. It's a very simple question, and when we go back over Daddy Grusing's interview, Letecia Stauch's interrogation, what is so fascinating and what you're going to observe on a psychological level is this is a very, whether she says, I know, for Shiggles, do you remember that? I was told by these nasty comments, man, that yelled at me and said, you interrupt too much when you thank people. You need to thank everyone prior to your live starting and get it out of the way. And I'm like, how would you like me to thank people prior to it happening? Like, how am I supposed to know? But I will always stop to thank people, of course. And thank you again, Justin. Jeez, Louise. Oh my God. Thank you, MK. Oh my God. You had to have gotten one by now, right? Really, Jahara? Oh my goodness. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I feel like everyone's gotten one now. Holy moly. Congratulations. I feel awkward saying thank you that many times. But thank you. Yeah, a determined bunch. But okay, so I know. I don't want to keep saying thank you because I know it's obnoxious, but like, thank you. Letecia is asked a very direct question, right? And even if she was innocent, hey, Millie Lynn, even if she was innocent, it would be very, very simple for her to answer, right? Okay, if you didn't do this and you were not the last person with Gannon, who was? Now, Tecia has a very hard time answering this question because she will not stay committed to a story. Obviously, how many times have we heard her switch her stories in the few calls that we've listened to already? And thank you so much, Andrea. Congrats. She tried. Thank you. I try, Nicole, but it was overwhelming tonight, and obviously everyone deserves a thank you. That was very generous. Thanks, Cheyenne. So Tecia cannot commit to one story. She didn't. It's weird because I think Letecia both premeditated this, but at the same time didn't. She was very impulsive. You can, Jenny, but you have to do it through Safari, like open YouTube through Safari, the desktop version, and then you can, which is a bitch. iPhone is always behind on things. So she doesn't want to get stuck in one version of her events. But what is really interesting is when we get to the Daddy Gruesing, which again is her interrogation the day she's arrested. He is so calm. His demeanor is so calm. He doesn't and Tecia is very obviously chaotic, constantly moving her around. Her body language is screaming a bunch of things. But Gruesing just stays stoic and still and doesn't raise his voice. And he asks very directly, when was the last time you saw Gannon? Right? What was he doing? And thank you, PA Dog Mom and Carolyn Cooper. Thank you guys. What was he doing, right? I'm not, and she would get very defensive, and he's like, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm not saying it was bad, right? Was he sitting? Was he standing? Was he walking away from you? Was he walking towards you? Was he happy? Was he sad? And she genuinely could not answer. But what was very interesting is Gruesing pushed in that interrogation, and with her body language, here's the truth. The last image she has of Gannon is horrific. Again, we're talking about 18 stab wounds, blunt force trauma, and shot through the jaw. And she put that, I call him a baby, like he wasn't though, but he was a baby. God, Carolyn Cooper, I hope not. Hi, Coda's mom. And she stuffed him in a suitcase with the pillow and the blanket, okay? Yeah. And so the truth is that your brain answers even when you're trying not to answer. And so the same way someone can say, hey, don't think about an elephant. What are you going to think about? An elephant, right? So every time Gruesing asked her, what was the last image of Gannon? What was your when was last time you saw him? It's not an issue, right? Like, I'm not saying there's anything bad. Just tell me, what did he look like? What were you doing? And you'll see when we get there, she shifts and she is uncomfortable and she is physically fighting because every time he asks that, you can't control your brain and your brain answers, right? And every time he asks that, in her brain, that horrific last image of Gannon will pop up. Think about it, right? Someone asks, what were you doing when you were talking to your kid, right? Your brain presents this image of what it remembers, right? Well, we were sitting down at the breakfast table and we were having, bacon and egg. Your brain produces the answer when it's asked something. And so same way Al is asking right now, like, who was that last person? She will not answer, but you're going to see it really get narrowed down in the interrogation. And when Carolyn Cooper, those social media posts, I cannot describe to you how absolutely batshit, and we saw none of them at trial. Zero. That is how solid this case was. Zero social media posts and what she was doing came up at trial. So this is all like just the extra. It was insane. It was insane. And it was all happening parallel to these calls. That's why I always say, just wait for the post, just wait for the post. Because in between these calls, remember these days, which I will remind you when we get there, but she was making these posts and doing these Google searches, full facial transplant near me, full facial transplant near me. Okay. All at the same time that these calls were taking place. And so she says one thing, but her actions completely depict something else. Oh, yes, absolutely, Tara. So right after we're done with these pretext calls, we're going to go through the social media posts and the text messages leading up to her literal arrest and the Google searches. So there's a lot to go through, and you're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked if you're not already aware with it.
I'm going to go back to question 2. You said you were not the last person Gannon was with, so who was? Okay, I answered your questions.
You said we can't do any inquisition.
No, you got 2 or 3.
You said yes
All
or
right.
no.
Okay, well, see, this is why I don't believe you. I'm going to be straight up with you.
Thanks,
I want to do this polygraph thing. I'm willing, but expecting respect in return. You're expecting to play by the rules, and you're not playing by the rules.
You turned off your wife?
Nope, I said there's
When you
damage.
find out she's telling the truth?
I said there's damage, and we got to repair it. That's all I said. I haven't said anything about anybody to anyone in the media, social media, nothing. And if you got something else, then it's false. So.
Okay, the next question. Have you filed for divorce?
Yay!
Nope. And see, here you go again. Not
Oh my
playing by
God, you hear her? So let me ask you one last question. Okay. As he's saying, who had my child? What was the last image of my child? Well, let me ask you something. Have you filed for divorce? Because that's all she cared about. All Tecia cared about. Are you seeing someone? Are you with Gannon's mom? Do you know what she did? Seriously, Al? Are you going to be with your wife? It's all she cared about. Zero concern for Gannon. And thank you so much, Skadoosh and Marge. Sweet Gannon didn't deserve her around. That kid, that boy, and I know that I never met him, obviously, but there was something about him that radiated through photos and videos of him. He was an old soul. He was a good kid. You could I don't know how to explain it, but you could just tell. And even by Tecia's own admission, he was always the first one to help, always the first one to offer to take the guard. He was a good kid that got the brunt of horrific abuse.
Question. Have you filed for divorce?
Nope. And see, here you go again, not playing by the rules.
You said yes or no.
Yes,
That's what I said.
Yeah, but you got to put me through the Inquisition, but you're not answering my question. Who was the last person Gannon was with if it wasn't you? Because these are going to be the questions you're going to have to answer. I mean, I'm just going to be straight up with you, whether you answer them to me or
I'm
not.
not going to have to answer any
No.
questions.
Well,
that
Mr. Hotshot Baez will.
Mr. Hotshot Baez will. No, she did not have the money to pay for the face change. She was stealing money and emptying the accounts out. And I will show you all of that in the case files, because we're going to go through all of the case files, and we're going to go through the jail files of what Letecia Stauch has done since she's been in jail. Because if you think for 1 second, her stories have slowed down since she's been in jail and prison, you're wrong. You're wrong. And the video visits we have and the calls we have, she has ninjas in her room braiding her hair, and she has vampires coming in, removing her organs in the middle of the night. You think I'm kidding? I'm not exaggerating one bit. And anyone who has been around will know I'm literally not exaggerating one bit. She took Twilight, fucked it up, even replicated down to the characters' names, and incorporated it to make it seem like she was crazy going into trial.
Okay. If you don't. So, I mean, we might as well do this peacefully between me and you and figure out where Gannon's at.
I've already agreed to this. If I'm agreeing to do this, and I am going to pass it, I will pass it. And I have no idea where Gannon's at. Why are you still being adamant that you? That's my point. I said over you controlling it, because you'll still swear up and down.
No,
it's not legit.
But listen.
Do you see my point?
No, but I this is pre-polygraph. Polygraph, I won't even be in the room. Probably not even in the building. I'll be somewhere else, so you're not under any pressure. Okay, that's how those things go. It's all you and the guy asking the questions.
Polygraph, you won't even be there either, because they didn't interview me with myself.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I won't be there. Okay.
And thank you, Mallory. Selfish, manipulative witch. She only cares for herself. Gannon, we will always show up for you. Thank you, MJ. And thank you, Pan Am. And thank you, Mallory. You guys are the best.
I'll pick you up, take you, drop you off, pay for it, but then I'll bounce. Okay, but you need to answer me this. Right. As your husband and as the father of the missing child.
You just told me you had no intentions of being my husband.
But I still am I not? Okay. Point is, who was the last person that had Gannon? You said you weren't, so who was?
Simple question. See, she can't answer.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm going to tell that to the person.
See, why can't you? It's so direct. And Letecia has given the answer on every call that we've gone through so far, right? Quincy Brown. She saw his ID perfectly fall out of his pocket with her go-go gadget eyes. Yet when he asks her directly, she can't. Tecia it's very interesting. She is in control as she is out of control. She is most in control, out of control, spiraling, if that makes sense. When you slow her down and repeat back to her words, or very directly ask her, that is when she panics the most right now. Because she thought if she didn't stick with any one story, they can't prove it was a lie. No, so freak. So she wasn't aware that the FBI was listening in. There were times where she said, I know you're recording, I know, but that's because it was deflection and projection. But she also had no self-control, knowing that there's a good chance it may be happening, but she wasn't able to practice any form of self-control and stop herself from talking. Because again, she believed if she convinced Al she didn't do this and believed one of her outrageous stories, she believed the FBI and El Paso and all the agencies would get off her back.
And let them rephrase that in a yes or no question. Because that's what I'm going to do, because no matter what I say to you, you're going to yell and scream at me, hang up, act crazy. I mean, you legit told me all in one day, I'm a murderer, killer, told me Harley had involvement, then told me this, told me that, then told me you don't have any intentions. When you find out the truth that your wife is not involved, to be with her.
Okay.
This is what you've all said to me in one day.
Okay, but did you murder Gannon?
But like, that is what your mind is saying.
Hey, did you murder Gannon?
What?
Did you kill Gannon?
No.
Okay, then back to what we said. It had to be an accident. So you accidentally hurt him. It's either or. You said that already.
Why did you ask? That's one of your questions, ain't it?
Right.
Isn't that one of your questions? So,
well, no, that's two questions.
So,
But
here's where I have to. Here's what I have the problem.
Okay.
Pause. If you guys are good, and sorry, I know I'm pausing a lot tonight, but because this is short, I will show you guys the fake polygraph calls at the end of this, because I don't feel like it's jumping ahead or anything, because it was happening at the same time as this. So I don't mind showing you guys that, and then at the time we go through the social media posts, I'll just show you guys again, because it's only like 5 minutes.
We'll pass it, and then you're going to come back to square one and still accuse me, because you're going to say this damage and all this, you're going to accuse me of somehow still being involved. That's what you're going to do.
Because you were.
Because right now, you can't accept. You had the nerve to say to me, I am not going to be with my wife and family.
Good night, Kristen.
Regardless. If Gannon showed up on the doorstep today, you still going to say that to me.
No.
Yeah, fair enough. But you know what?
Just because you're so fucking pissed.
No, I'm not pissed. I'm hurt. My son's missing.
What?
I'm hurt because my son's missing. And he's hurt, okay, because I saw his blood. And I know that if you thought I knew who took Harley, and she was missing and hurt and raped and all these things that have been alleged, okay, if you thought I knew that, you'd want me to tell you too.
It is.
Okay, you admitted you were not the last person that Gannon was with, so that means you know at least a description or at least a name or something, and you're not telling me. And you need to put yourself.
I gave the description.
Okay, but that description was Quincy Brown and 15 different stories, and you already told me.
Not originally.
You already told me.
No, it was not originally.
Yeah, it was Eduardo, the Mexican guy, right? Our Uncle Matt.
No.
Here we go again.
That's my point. Why don't you ask about legit answers?
Right.
So you could get legit answers
Right.
for yourself.
Did you kill Gannon?
Do you see what she does? You already gave me a description. You're not able to give me a description now of who last had Gannon, but you already gave me a description. She's like, but that was before. I gave you a different description before. She is mad that Al is holding her accountable for being adamant the last 4 days that it's Quincy Brown. Yeah, but before I told you the Quincy Brown lie, I told you it was another guy, Edgar and Uncle Matt and Eduardo. So she's mad that when he believes her and holds her accountable to her own words. So now what she's saying is, no, give me a fresh slate, which she will do this numerous times moving forward. Forget everything I told you, and then ask me that question again in the polygraph. Don't hold me accountable for everything I've told you up until now.
Yeah.
That's my point. Why don't you ask about legit answers?
Right.
So you could get legit answers for
Right.
yourself.
Did you kill Gannon? That's a legit question.
No.
Okay. Did you accidentally hurt Gannon?
Do you want to keep asking me like 15 times? Like, so you can go ahead and get this out of your system because I'm a.
Well, okay, fine.
For your mind, you're going to be like, wow, she passed the test.
Yeah. Okay. But the bottom line is the bottom line is.
Call Nancy Grace, the girl on Crime Online, to do it.
Yeah, let's call her. Let's call Maury Povich too. He'll help.
We can call him, but you've already said tomorrow or whenever you're calling this thing. You've already said that. You said you wanted to do it between me and you because this is for you.
No, you said that, but
I'm doing this for you.
But the truth is, you won't tell me who because there is no who, and the who is you.
Okay, but okay, so here you go again. You are not even trusted in, that's why I said you control who it was, because you're not even trusting in a lie detector test.
No,
So
you sent me a link and you said no to the FBI, which if I had a choice, it'd be the FBI. for,
I'm not doing the police department.
okay, then I
because
don't
they are
have
full of fucking
control.
shit.
Then I don't have control, or I don't have a say-so. This is where we always get to in our relationship.
It is a say-so. I said pick somebody in Colorado Springs.
I did. There's FBI in Colorado Springs, and you got her number.
You just told me you were going to call the other people. I'm not doing the FBI because they're police. I'm doing a licensed
Okay,
person.
so
who has
listen.
No,
Listen, if
no, what you call it,
if
no
the
involvement.
if the who Gannon was last with, if the who is not you, then who is it?
They keep asking me the same damn question.
Because you never answer it. You never answer it.
You already made it clear that I'm not your wife. You already made that clear.
No, actually,
You don't
I
want
actually,
me and me.
and I quote, I said,
Hey.
"You are still my wife." I just said we don't have a
but-
relationship right now because of all this. That's what I said.
So Letecia makes it very clear, unless you are actively my husband and sharing your bed with me and playing house, none of this matters. Anything about your child, trying to find him, his safety, none of that matters unless you're willing to play house with me. The most wild, Marge.
I just said we don't have a
paperwork.
relationship right now because of all this. That's what I said.
But
To be clear.
paperwork, but you're telling me, I mean absolutely nothing to you. I'm a piece of crap. Or that's what you're telling me.
Hey,
directly.
hey, guess what? So this whole back to this whole lie detector test bullshit. If you're gonna pass it, who gives a fuck? Who gives you the lie detector test?
Good question.
I don't want the police involved, not because
The police are already involved. What are you talking about? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's not what I'm talking. Why are you trying to deter it from just picking anybody else besides a police? Because I want someone who has no reason at all.
You know, because I want someone not affiliated with the police who are looking into me or the FBI. I don't trust them. But I want someone completely not affiliated so it doesn't clear my name at all. Yeah, sure. That makes complete sense.
To be involved or anything so that the validity of the test is complete.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
You think the police care about you or me or anything? All they care about, whether they're doing right or wrong, all they care about is Gannon.
I'm agreeing. Like I legit said, yes, okay, when
Yeah, fine, let's do it. And I told you to let me pick you up. You won't tell me where you are. I told you all these different things. I
I
tried
said I would be there.
I tried to do one tomorrow. You said 3 days from now. 9
You
a.m.
me 3 times. 3 different times is what I said.
9,
You see how
9:30,
you
and
twist
10.
my words?
9, 9:30, and
Okay, what
10.
time did they say they had available?
That's what I'm gonna tell them. Okay. I'm
No,
gonna.
you call me back and tell me what time they have available.
Hey,
Text
all
me
right.
and tell me what time
All
they
right.
have
So
available.
listen, when I call you back, while you're waiting on me to call you back, I want you to think about this. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for
Sure.
this? What happens if you fail this
Yeah.
polygraph test? Then what?
I'm not going to fail.
Okay, but you need to think about what if you fail.
I don't need to think about that. There's no doubt in my mind. Trust me.
Okay.
I wouldn't be adamant to you, calling you back after you said those things to me. Do you think I'd be wasting my time to try to prove to a man who is fucking just treating me like this?
Hey, you were also adamant about Quincy Brown, remember?
Hey,
Until the
Tess.
news reporter, not the polygraph, the news reporter shot that full of shit.
Approving to the person that I care about, the person that I love with everything in me,
You care about Gannon?
so that he knows that.
You care about Gannon, or am I the only one you care about?
Of course, we have to care about you first in order to care about our children.
Okay, so if you truly care about me, okay, if you truly care about me and all this stuff, listen to me. If you truly care about me and want all this stuff that you tell me every day that you want and send me all these pictures, if all that really means anything to you, first of all, you sent me a picture without your ring on the other day, so that's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. Second of all, yeah, then you told me you were wearing them, and then you sent me a picture without them. So, anyways,
I said I miss wearing my ring.
Oh,
is what
okay.
I said,
but
because the police have confiscated them, and you won't help me get any of them back because they were in the car that's in your name that you probably already have back.
I wish. I'm still paying on it, by the way. I don't have it. So just so you know.
Oh, well, you know what? Harley was surely glad to pay on it, her car.
And not have it, right? Okay. Anyways, if
Yeah,
you really cared about me,
yourself and not done a child like that.
if you really cared about, let's cut this shit off because this is ridiculous. If you really cared about me, you would have lied to me 15 times, and you wouldn't be lying to me now. Okay, and that's it.
I'm not.
Oh, that's gonna piss you off.
What did you hear, Gracie?
Hey, how am I supposed to call this
Hold on.
polygraph place if
Hold
you won't
on,
leave me
Al.
alone for 5?
Geez, sorry, my pause wasn't working. Oh crap! Now I forgot what he said. My ADHD. Oh, okay. Gruesing. Did you hear gruesing? You're lying to me then, and you're lying to me now. Cha-chink. Which, you know what? By the way, I'm realizing how old I am by even doing like the hang up, the same way we used to imitate being on the phone by putting out our thumb and pinky. Right? Hello. Ask a kid in this generation, how would you pretend picking up the phone? They don't do the thumb and pinky. They just hold up like their hand to their ear. Yeah, realize you're getting old by doing that. The same way there is no cha-chink because you don't fucking hang up a phone anymore. You just tap it, okay? But for the sake of my fucking scenario, he goes cha-chink, okay? Not that any phone actually sounds like that, but you know what I'm saying. All right? And you hear Gruesing in the background go, oh, she's going to get pissed about that. Special FBI agent Daddy Gruesing. Oh, she's not going to like that. She's not going to like that.
Because this is ridiculous. If you really cared about me, you would have lied to me 15 times, and you wouldn't be lying to me now. Okay? And that's it.
I'm not.
Oh, that's gonna piss you off.
Oh, that's going to piss her off.
Hey, how am I supposed to call this polygraph place if you won't leave me alone for 5 minutes?
Okay, all I was going to say to you, hung up in his fair word, so I was making sure you were doing that.
Like you got control over me or something?
Oh.
You want to play that game? You want to play the control game now? No. You want to play the control game? Listen, I'll start playing that game. If you want to play the control game, I'll start playing it.
Oh, he hung up again. So Al has been very composed. Again, you know, like it takes week intervals for us to get through these calls, but just understand it's only days going through these calls. And he has been very composed. And you could tell the FBI was keeping him calm at times. But as the calls progressed and they're listening and they're realizing this takes a lot to be able to deal with her in his situation, knowing what the end result most likely is. And you're going to see as the calls progress, he's going to just have nothing left. Nothing left. Hi, Summer Marie. That's a pretty name. Yeah, a little giggle.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
Hey.
so you can be here at 1 tomorrow? That's the only option. Because I got to put a $100 deposit in right now if you're going to be able to make that or not.
Okay. Look, can you give me like 3 minutes? Let me make sure that it's going to be okay.
Now, it wasn't going to be okay because, again, she's in Myrtle fucking Beach, let me remind you. Myrtle fucking Beach. Across the country. But look at her. All right, hold on. Let me check my calendar. Let me make sure I'm able to do that.
All right.
And I'll call you right back.
All right, fine.
Hey,
What?
what did they say, like, how long will it take to get it? Do I have to stay around, or how does that work?
Listen, I don't know. You can't drink and can't smoke weed, and
I mean, obviously. I don't do
basically we don't need to talk all morning. You just need to show up, do it, and because you don't need to be under any stress or anything like that. And it's $350 total.
Thanks, Kimmy.
I know, but they didn't say anything about that.
I can't hear you.
Am I going to get the results when I leave? Am I going to get the results when I leave, or how does that work?
We can ask that question when we get there. Okay. I didn't ask that question. I mean, when I call back and schedule the appointment, I can ask them that question.
All right, I'll call you back. Just give me a few minutes.
Yeah, all right.
Bye-bye.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
So I needed to be at their Denver office in order to get there. Because I'm closer that way, and also I have someone who is going to make sure that I'm protected because I have all these people after me. And that makes it a protection for me.
Okay, so where am I picking you up at?
Wait a minute. You said that I wasn't supposed to see you or anything or talk to you. That's what you said, right?
All right.
So if I'm not supposed to see you or talk to you or anything like that, then, I mean, I don't, what I'm just trying to figure out. You don't have to be there because it's me getting to
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that part.
Okay, hold on. Now watch what she does, okay? And thank you, Obsessed with the Mess. Hello, MJ and Chad. I appreciate you continuing to go over this case and bring attention to Gannon's case. And Letecia's crazy ass. She needs to be studied. Thank you so much for the support. And yeah, this is one I'll never let go. I can sound like Rose to Whippicator up in here. I'll never let go. But no, for real, like I will never let go of this one. It's a very good study for anyone interested in that aspect of things. But yes, so Carolyn Cooper, so she's coming in with, all right, so I know I just told you I wanted you to pick me up and I wanted to do this polygraph that we're going to be together. Like I'm just here to clear my name. And I know I told you I didn't want to do it through the FBI and I didn't want to do it through El Paso. I wanted private. And I know that I wanted you to pay for it because I can't do this. I'm just a poor little girl. You need to be a husband, okay? And I know you just called me and you had it all figured out with the time and everything ready to go. But let me call you right back and let me make sure that works with my schedule. Bring, bring. Okay, so now that I'm thinking, like, I need to be protected, because everyone's attacking me and they're out for me. And you don't need to be there, right? You said yourself you shouldn't be causing me any more stress. So I'm thinking it's probably not ideal for you to pick me up and bring me there. I think it's probably for the best that I bring myself there because it's not like you want to go home with your wife anyway. This is a tactic because she's not planning on fucking going anywhere that Al sets up at all. I'm going to show you what she does with the polygraph right at the end of this. But if Al picked her up and brought her to this place, she can't use fake polygraph test online.com. Literally, that's the name of it, fakepolygraph.com. So this is her way of weaseling out of it. Okay, I'm going to go forward with it, but it's got to be in a way that I'm protected too. And you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be the one because I don't want to bring any extra stress on me. That's from your mouth, Al, not mine. Good night, Chase.
Trying to figure out. You don't have to be there because it's me getting to
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that part. You're absolutely right. So you're just going to meet them. Did you call them or are you just saying you want to do it at the Denver office?
No, I'm just telling you I need to do it at Denver office. A, for protection because I'm closer to the Denver office. And B, because protection again, because I have people threatening to kill me.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I need to call the guy back and tell him Denver office then.
And then I didn't call him to say anything. It says that when I leave there, whatever, that they would give me the results then. What it says.
Okay. So Denver office. No. So you're saying no earlier than 1 o'clock is what you're telling me.
Do what?
What I'm telling you is the guy, I guess he manages the scheduling for both the offices, and he told me, because I said Colorado Springs, he said 1 o'clock was their only availability. What I'm telling you is now that you're changing it, I got to see what their availability is, and I'm asking you if you're telling me no earlier than 1 o'clock is what you're saying.
Right, no earlier than 1 o'clock because I have to get someone to take me, and I also want to have safety measures in place.
Safety measures.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm going to have to call him back and see what he says. But the key that I want to know, because I'm about to be out $350 for this, and it's worth it for my son. But After this, after you answer all these yes or no, polygraph, whatever, you going to tell me who that person was that took Gannon?
Then you're still gonna tell me I'm lying.
No, I didn't say anything about the polygraph. That'll prove you're telling the truth, okay? One way or the other.
Oh my God.
No, there's no, oh my God, I'm just. Why is that a problem for you to tell me who? Are you protecting somebody?
Oh God. Here we go again. Now I'm protecting somebody. I'm protecting Harley. It's like, come on, like really, you would think for a second that Harley would hurt anybody? That didn't cross your mind.
All right. I'll call the Denver guy.
I need to say this.
Okay.
But I need to say this before
All
you
right,
go.
go ahead.
I've already apologized to you about being insensitive about situations and stories in life. You got to understand. I understand this is about an 11-year-old boy, like you said. But sometimes I want you to keep in the back of your mind that people, when they have their lives and everyone else's lives threatened, they get scared to say information. So that's what I want you to keep in your mind when you get these results that I've had. You got to remember, I've already got people I don't know trying to kill me. Imagine someone who knows.
Yeah, I know. Just like Gannon, somebody he knows accidentally hurt him or killed him or something. I'll call this guy and I'll get you a Denver schedule.
Really? So why am I doing this if that's what you're saying to me?
All right, hey, listen, I just said Gannon. I'm worried about my son. Let me call this guy and I'll call you back or I'll text you the information, okay?
All right,
bye.
Okay, so that's where it ends. And let that sink in. She's saying, now listen, I know that, with all the story, I'm sorry that I've been a little insensitive when it comes to all of the stories and stuff and things going on in life. You mean the straight up lies of the horrific different scenarios? You said his son was on the verge of death. But, when you're being threatened and, you got all this going on, you're concerned, you would be scared too. And I need you to understand that. Oh my God. Oh, she is the worst. Okay. So I said I would pull up. Let me see. Which one was it? The case files of Letecia Stauch. Because I have my playlist, but don't peek. I don't want you guys to peek. The text messages, Is this the fake polygraph? No, is this the fake polygraph? Sorry, I just have to find the one on my playlist that it is. Welcome back. Ew, I hate hearing my own voice. Is this it? This one? Yes! Found it! Okay. I don't want you guys to peek, but obviously I can't control you. Just so you know, I have this playlist. I know that there's a couple of playlists of Letecia Stauch, but if you're someone who just started and you're only following this from what I've gone through from this series, I don't want you to peek. But if you have no self-control, I will say in my Case Files of Letecia Stauch playlist, you'll see that like there's episode 1 and there's the live stream, but there's also episode 1, a short pre-record that sums it all up. Episode 2 pre-record. Like, so my point is, if you go to those pre-records, I already have all of the text messages up there, the read through certain documents, things like that. But I prefer you waiting. So I like watching people's reactions. But if you like are someone who can't wait, it's in that playlist. So, okay, we are on this one. Assaultive, disruptive. Okay, let me see. Oh, this is her great escape. Okay. Letecia calls strangers into evidence. And here is a copy of those letters. So the next document details conversations between Letecia and strangers. Yeah, literally, that is the title of the document. So this is actually phone calls that took place between Letecia and the Facebook group admins. So again, here it comes with those Facebook groups. So Letecia was willing to speak to anybody at this point in the investigation who was willing to listen. Found it. No one's even focusing on this. Look at it. That's a criminal mentality, though. So last but most certainly not least, we have the fake polygraph.com documents. So we all know how. Pause real quickly. Liz, the firearm used was a gun that Landon, Gannon's biological mom, bought Al. I think she chose that gun specifically. They had multiple guns in the house. Hold on. 1 second. So that was the gun that Landon had bought Al previously. And it was actually sitting right on the dresser when the cops do a walkthrough, and we see it in the crime scene photos. Okay. The fake polygraph.com documents. Wait. God, I'm like telling myself to shut up. See, this is February 18th, 2020. Just understand, we just finished the February 17th calls. So the next live, we get into the February 18th calls, but this is in context to the call that just ended. Letecia did end up going the very next day to get her polygraph, but through a fake polygraph company. Okay, so the very next day after the calls that just ended. At least we have the fake polygraph.com documents. So we all know how Letecia tried to obtain that fake polygraph test. And these are the documents that go about detailing it. And I am going to include at the end the audio recordings of the conversations between Letecia and the customer service rep after they declined being able to give Letecia the results for that fake test. And yeah, it's just super cringe, super uncomfortable. And yeah, definitely leave your thoughts down below because I would love to hear you guys' feedback regarding this. On Tuesday, February 18th, 2020, I received information with agents from the FBI concerning a phone call Letecia made to a fake polygraph company. 2 of Letecia's phone lines were being monitored through a Title III warrant. I was told Letecia contacted a company called fakepolygraph.com and inquired about getting a polygraph drafted concerning the disappearance of Gannon. This coincides with Letecia offering to take a polygraph when she spoke with Mr. Stauch. Letecia requested that Al pick a polygraph company for her to complete the polygraph with. Al offered law enforcement sources with the FBI and the EPSO for Letecia to take the polygraph. Letecia refused to complete a polygraph with law enforcement and informed Al that she did not trust law enforcement. I researched the company through an open source and found the website www.fakepolygraph.com. The associated contact phone number for the website is redacted. At approximately 11:21 a.m., I called the fake polygraph company to preserve records as there was no listed law enforcement guide for preservation. I spoke with John, who was apprehensive to preserve the records. At approximately 12 p.m., John called me back and identified himself as Luke Devlin. Mr. Devlin told me he would preserve the records and sent them to Agent Andrew Cohen with the FBI. Agent Cohen did not receive the records. The fake polygraph company is based in the UK and no court service is able to be issued. The second call was recorded and Mr. Devlin provided the questions that Letecia asked, her date of birth, and an email address associated to the reply of the fake polygraph and the email address associated to the PayPal account used. The return call from Mr. Devlin at 12 p.m. was partially recorded. The recording was not initiated at the time of the phone call because I was not near a recorder. Detective Mark Riley met with me and was able to record the phone call with his office-issued telephone. I was not able to use my telephone to record the call because I was using it to speak with Mr. Devlin. The fake polygraph recording was entered into evidence as item number 422 and again as item number 470. The recording was sent to EPSO records for transcription. So just for context, guys, the questions that Letecia had tried to submit was, do you intend to answer these questions regarding your stepson truthfully? Yes. Is your birthday August 4th, 1983? Yes. Did you participate in any way in causing harm to your stepson? No. Did your stepson return with you to your home? Yes. Did you participate in any way in causing the death of your stepson? No. So again, just to repeat, right after these calls that we just listened to, the very next day, Letecia goes on fakepolygraph.com and you get to submit the questions. And the questions always start with a baseline question, right? You know, do you intend to answer the questions truthfully? Yes. Is your birthday August 4th? Yes. The question she chose, did you participate in any way in causing harm to your stepson? No. Did your stepson return with you to your home? Yes. Did you participate in any way in causing the death of your stepson? No. Which, again, she's supposed to pay to receive a test back that says she passed. And this company even offers, if Al wanted to call the number on it, they would confirm it. Okay. It was pretty crazy, actually. But in the TOS, it says you cannot submit questions like this. But notice the two questions, which are, it shows Letecia's mentality. Did you participate in any way in causing harm to your stepson? No. But then she also included, did you participate in any way in causing the death of your stepson? No. As far as you know, you wouldn't know he's dead, right? So answering, did you participate in any way in causing harm to your stepson? No. Then why'd you even need to include the third one, right? But this is what Letecia tried to submit and tried to pay for to show Al, see, I passed. Now, are you going to go home and support your wife and apologize to me? Oh. So let's take a listen to those recorded calls now.
Hello, how can I help?
Hi, yes, I'm calling again. I still didn't get that email.
Okay, can I ask your name, please?
It's Letecia Stauch.
Ah, right, yes, perfect. I can see here.
You tried 10, 15 minutes and you said it again. I still don't have it.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, it's actually been blocked by management, this order, due to the content of the questions, so we're not going to be able to send this report.
Okay. So, do I get my money back?
Unfortunately, not on this case, no. Obviously, due to our terms and conditions, it does clearly state that any sort of illegal activities or anything like that, obviously the management do reserve the right not to send the report. Obviously, we do incur processing fees, so that's why a refund wouldn't be due.
So what do you do now? Just delete it and go on about why I can keep money?
Yes, we would do indeed.
I got you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now. Bye-bye.
I'm pausing before it plays a second one. So Tecia was not satisfied, right? It goes against terms of service. You're not allowed to submit questions. It's supposed to be used for things like, did you have an affair, right? But anything that is about crimes, you cannot. That goes against their terms of service. So Ticia's like, so can I get my money back? No, because you knowingly went into this contract and still tried to submit these questions, right? All right, so then what happens? You rip it up and you just go on about life? And he said, yeah. Well, about 10 minutes pass, and Tecia realizes, wait a second. Not only am I not getting this polygraph, but this is really bad, because out here in this fake polygraph universe, I submitted these fucking questions. And if anyone finds out I submitted these questions, I'm going to be fucked. So what does Tecia try to do? Just notice in that first phone call, she never denied she submitted those questions. She never denied it. But after 10 minutes pass, take a listen to what Tecia does next.
Hi, how can I help?
I didn't hang up.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I can hear you now. How can I help you?
Okay. I talked to you earlier and you said that the request I did was blocked or something, but I looked on the terms and conditions and it says you can't say things about like infidelity and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how that was blocked.
Say that again, sorry, that you can or can't.
No, okay, so I did a report earlier and you said you would send it to me. Then when I called back, you said it was blocked, that I wasn't allowed to get the report. But then I clicked the terms and conditions and it says you can do questions about infidelity and stuff like that.
Yes, infidelity you can, correct.
Right, and that's what I did.
Your report was about infidelity, was it?
What did you say?
So you're saying your report was about infidelity?
Yeah. Like I put questions in for it and you had to put like answers. And you said something about it being blocked?
Yes. So what were your questions?
So it was about during the time that we were away inside of in another state that I talked to, and I gave the person's individual's name, Ortega. That was one of them. Then it said, "Are your eyes blue?" And I did a couple of the questions that were on the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure in that case. Unfortunately, that's not what came through. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happened there then.
Because I read that you can do this.
Awkward.
Yeah, it says on there that you can do that.
Yeah, you would be able to about infidelity, but the questions that were submitted to your order were not to do with infidelity.
Yeah, I didn't submit questions that were not to do with infidelity.
Okay. All right. See, well, I'll have to look into that then in that case.
Do you want me just to write you the questions down?
No, it's okay. I'll just need to have a look into this then to see what can be done.
Okay.
Just remind me again, what was the name on the report?
It was Stauch, Stauch.
Uh-huh. And that's your surname, is it? Your last name?
Yes.
Okay. And first name is?
Tecia.
Okay. And how do I spell that?
It's Tecia.
Tecia.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay. All righty. Well, let me have a look into that and I can come back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
What's
843
Mm-hmm.
798
Uh-huh.
1700.
Okay. Right. Thanks a lot now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay. So she realizes she would be fucked. And so her grand idea was to call back and say, hey, so I know I didn't deny submitting questions that are committing crimes a little bit ago when I first spoke to you, but now I'm looking up the terms and conditions, and it says you do allow questions about infidelity. Infidelity, yeah? Yeah. Okay, and that's what you submitted? Yeah. What questions did you submit? While we were away in another state, did I kiss another guy? Ortega? Are my eyes blue? And a couple other questions at the bottom. Okay, yeah, that's not the questions we have here that were submitted. Oh, yeah, no, I don't know about any other questions. Those aren't my questions. All right. And a very awkward silence. And she's like, so do you want me to just resubmit do you want to just yeet those out of the system and delete them, and I will resubmit the questions you were supposed to get? No. That's okay. We'll just look into it. All right. So that is Tecia. Okay. Now, if you think it stops there, it doesn't. On the next episode, we will get into this day, the calls that are happening, what you hear her tell Al. But when we get to the social media post, you heard the way this went down. Would you believe me if I told you she was in Facebook groups saying that she passed with flying colors? She was all in the Facebook groups, posting that she got her polygraph test results back within an hour, and she passed with flying fucking colors. So if you think that would even slow Tecia down even a little, nope. And she knew she wasn't comfortable with just trusting that they would delete those. So just deny, right? So we'll pick up on the next episode and we will get into the 18th. And we got one of the biggest stories to come. Oh, thank you, Peggy O. And like I said, Carolyn Cooper, I'm telling you, this doesn't even scratch the surface. When I promised you guys, if you weren't familiar with Tecia, just hang on, give it a chance, and she will be the most bizarre criminal you'll ever observe, like, in a very specific way. The 18th, Michelle D, the 18th, the day that this polygraph test was called. And so you'll see, now that you know what she did, you'll see how she's talking to Al and how she's going to get out of this. But just wait, because we have the text messages, all of the social media posts, the Google searches, the case files, the jail files, the phone calls, the video visits. It doesn't... I've never seen anything like it. And that's why when covering with Wade and stuff, the only part that I'm interested in is the females and the relationship dynamics that they have with him. But as a killer, I always say Wade's very boring. And when I say that, I'm not trying to be insensitive, versus it's very black and white to me. But someone like Tecia, it's fascinating. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. You guys were so generous and so kind. I really do appreciate it. Your support means more than you really have any idea. We'll be on Patreon tomorrow, also after the main stream, and we're going to be doing with your tinfoil hats. Did the world end after Y2K? And I know, don't jump by the title. But we're going to be talking about things like CERN, Mandela effect, timeline shifts, celebrity time travelers, and odd occurrences that have basically been happening since Y2K occurred. And so if you're interested in that and you're over on Patreon, keep an eye out for that. So I will see you guys over here tomorrow. Thank you all for hanging out, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your night.